Tonight on CTV News at 5.
We've just seen the lines growing longer and longer and longer.
Hungry for help, families and food banks struggle to put food on the table.
Giving treats out to the kids and just part of the festivities for Halloween.
Trick or treat on the trail. Halloween comes early for hundreds of kids in East Chesapeake.
More rain and downpours to come for parts of the region tonight. I'll have more on that just ahead.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Penopalis. Thanks for joining us. First at 5 tonight, hungry for change. The 2025 hunger count is out and the numbers paint a grim picture. Food bank visits are up since last year, but perhaps even more troubling, visits have actually doubled since 2019. As CTV's Hafsa Arif reports, more families than ever are struggling to put food on the table and food banks are stretched to their limits. Hi there, Hafsa.
Hey, Maria, that's right. It's a difficult reality for many families where food insecurity continues to climb. And sadly, Food Banks Canada says hunger and poverty are normalizing around the country.
Rows of cardboard boxes, shelves stacked with canned vegetables, pasta, and cereal, all quietly packed, waiting to be sorted and picked up.
We do, over 500 appointments a week, and we've just seen the lines growing longer and longer and longer to the point where we feel like we need to open up more appointments.
According to Food Banks Canada's hunger count, food bank visits across the country hit a record of 2.2 million in March alone. That's a 5% increase from last year and nearly double what it was 6 years ago.
The inflation for everything, gas, groceries, housing, you name it, everything is more expensive. And even though people are sometimes having two people in the household that hold down full-time jobs, they still just don't have enough money.
Nationally, nearly 1 in 5 food bank clients are employed. Here in Nova Scotia, it's 1 in 4. Another 40% rely on social supports that haven't kept up with the cost of living.
We're seeing people who are actually working and doing their best to survive, having to avail of our services rather than just the typical, maybe somebody who's homeless or new immigrant or somebody who you would automatically assume would need our services.
Across Canada, a third of food bank users are children, a number that continues to grow year after year. At Parker Street, keeping up with that demand has been a constant struggle, and staff argue the social support system simply hasn't kept pace.
If they're to pay their rent, if they're to pay their car payment, if they're to pay gas, groceries, it just isn't enough. Based on the prices that are out there today, what the province has as low income is not enough.
Now, over the years, Parker Street has raised income eligibility limits, going beyond the province's standard to make sure more people in need can access support. And with the holidays fast approaching, Maria, their expectations are that shelves will be empty and restocked again and again. Maria?
Thank you, Hafsa. CTV's Hafsa Arif for us in the news center this evening. Every year we say it can't get worse, and yet it does. It gets worse. All right, time to head over to the anchor desk where Todd Battis is standing by. Welcome back, Todd. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Maria. Coming up at 6 o'clock tonight, the Retail Council of Canada is worried about shoplifting. The organization is calling it a crisis and says more has to be done to stop thieves. It says one big problem is the penalties for the crimes are simply not severe enough. We'll hear from them at 6 o'clock. The New Brunswick government is spending more than $6 million on a new psychiatric unit for teens. It will be located at the St. John Regional Hospital and contain 5 beds. The province says it will help teens who are dealing with mental health issues, including addiction. We will take you there. A stressful time for people living inside a Summerside trailer park. Last year, they fought to keep their homes after the park's owner threatened evictions. Now they've been told once again that they'll have to look elsewhere for a place to live. We'll hear their story coming up at 6 o'clock. It is a big weather story going on, not only in our region, but in the tropical climes with the hurricane that's making its way. Kaylin Mitchell has been tracking all of it. We're going to start with what we're expecting, Kaylin, here at home.
Yeah, thank you so much, Todd, and it's great to have you back. So, of course, here today in parts of the Maritimes, we continue to see some rain and some downpours move in off the Atlantic. That's off of a stalled out low pressure system that's sitting just off the coastline of Nova Scotia. Temperatures as well are being held around the high single digits and low teens. So it is sort of a cold October rain coming down across many parts of the region. Taking a look at the winds, they're a bit in the blustery side as well. Out of the northeast behind that low pressure system, they're being sustained right now between 10 and 30 kilometers per hour, with occasional gusts up between 30 and 40 kilometers per hour. And that blustery wind continues out of the northeast for both tonight as well as for tomorrow. Let's head over and take a look at that wet weather. So these bands of rain are moving in off the Atlantic currently into eastern areas of Nova Scotia. There's some downpours building into parts of Cape Breton currently. There's been downpours throughout the day through parts of Guysborough County, some of those working their way inland towards Pictou County. Some of this rain has been wrapping back through PEI, through northern areas of Nova Scotia, through the south and southeast of New Brunswick. You can see the west is in a little bit of a break right now, but that break in western Nova Scotia is expected to fill in as we make our way through the night. So that rain kind of wrapping back into the southwest of Nova Scotia, continuing through tonight. We've got special weather statements in effect. Rainfall totals 20 to 50 millimeters for those areas. Rainfall warnings out for Guysborough County and Pictou County. Some overall totals could approach 100 millimeters of rain. I'm going to have more on this wet weather coming up a little bit later on. Maria.
To talk about, thank you, Kaylin. Right now, though, this past weekend's traditional Pow-Wow in St. John was the 12th and final stop on New Brunswick's Pow-Wow Trail for 2025. CTV's Nick Moore was there and brings us this story.
More than 200 dancers joined the grand entry at the Monoquist Wabanaki traditional powwow inside St. John's TD station on Saturday.
I love outdoor powwows, but it's really cool to have an indoor powwow, especially at this time of year. You don't know what the weather's going to be like either, right? And you want to take care of the people and the youth and our elders.
Pizzazz Paul is CEO of Double Curve Media, which led the organization of Saturday's gathering. Paul says the powwow's location presented opportunities to showcase performances in creative ways.
We're on top of a basketball arena, so we're able to light it differently. We're able to provide different sound. It's just a different environment, a different energy that comes in here.
I made all of my beadwork when I was about 15.
Shane and Evan Mayo is on the go throughout the summer, attending powwows around the region, calling this one a standout.
I usually go every weekend. I'm a champion dancer, so I've been going around since I was 2. And yeah, so usually all my summers are kind of around here.
Extending powwow season from June into the fall has allowed people to go to more throughout the year, including Kyla Paul Brooks and Harmony Pulches.
They were really fun, and I enjoyed all of them. This one was probably one of my favorites.
This is definitely on the leaderboard. It's definitely on one of my favorites.
Planning for this year's powwow in St. John began immediately after last year's, which marked the first traditional powwow to be held in the city. Planning is now underway for 2026. Nick Moore, CTV News, St. John.
Oh, beautiful. And on the leaderboard. I love that. Very nice way to put it, indeed. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, oh my gourd. 2, 1. This year's Pumpkin Blast was a smash. More on the heartwarming fundraiser next.
Celebrate the outstanding class of 2025. The Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame induction ceremony takes place Saturday, November 8th at 7 p.m. at the Lighthouse Arts Centre in Halifax. Visit nsshf.com to purchase tickets.
Welcome back. A unique fall fundraiser in Masstown, Nova Scotia aims to help people living with cystic fibrosis. As CTV's Emma Convey shows us, the annual event honors Chantel Lindsay, who passed away in 2020.
2, 1.
Pumpkin soaring for a purpose, as every blast raises funds for cystic fibrosis.
An event like this would have been, she would have loved it. And that's why we don't have a fee to come in. She would want everybody to be able to come.
Chantel's cystic fibrosis pumpkin blast is in its 5th year. It featured live music, pumpkin carving, pie eating contests, a kids zone, and of course, shooting pumpkins out of cannons. All in memory of Mark and Kelly Lindsay's daughter, Chantel.
She was a really great example of a daughter. She played hockey, she played lacrosse. She never pitied herself. She never felt bad. She was no different than anybody else.
At 3 months old, Chantel was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. She managed her symptoms throughout most of her childhood, but in her 20s, she was admitted to hospital. And 5 years ago, at the age of 23, she passed away. At the time, Mark says they fought hard to get access to a drug from the U.S. to help their daughter, but it wasn't approved for use in Canada until after she died. They wanted to put the funds saved for the medication to use.
We've had lots of people help us in the past, and we want to continue on with the funds that were left after she had passed and created the fund.
And that's been the case. Last year, they raised $52,000. They expected a bigger turnout this year, estimating around 4,000 people. Blake Jennings, who owns the Pumpkin Jungle, feels grateful to be a part of this and proud of its growth.
It spreads awareness. You know, we raise crucial funds to help out with people in their battle for cystic fibrosis, and the Chantel Lindsay Legacy Fund going to CF Warriors.
The event has become a tradition for many families, especially Sarah Sutherland, who was Chantel's nurse.
We've had some amazing advancements in healthcare and the treatments for cystic fibrosis, but we're not done the fight. We still need to raise funds for research, and what Mark and Kelly do with their fund for scholarships. You know, these people have such a future now.
The Lindsay family hopes this fundraiser is around for years and will not only help those living with CF in Nova Scotia, but all of Atlantic Canada. Emma Convey, CTV News, Masstown, Nova Scotia.
Thank you, Emma. Well, a life cut short, but what a legacy and what an impact her short life is having and continues to have. And my heart just kind of breaks for the dad, but wow, you're doing an amazing job keeping her legacy alive for sure. All right, Kaylin Mitchell joins us now with a look at how things are shaping up. Some much needed rain. Lots of us happy to see it.
Yeah, hopefully just not too much rain too quickly for a few parts of the region. We do have some rainfall warnings in effect. We're looking out here at a very cloudy sky. This was earlier today. Overcast. This is in the Sydney Harbor. That's the Seven Seas Splendor in the port. There's some rain moving into Sydney, parts of Cape Breton now. More on that after the break.
Welcome back. CTV has teamed up with CAA Atlantic and Colette for our Costa Rica is Calling contest. We are giving away an unforgettable 11-night tour for two of beautiful Costa Rica. The winner will explore San Jose, hop aboard a riverboat for a jungle crocodile safari and bird-watching excursion, and choose from a ziplining adventure or volcano lava field hike. Each weeknight from now until October 31st, we will give you a keyword. Once you have it, head to ctvatlantic.ca and follow the contest prompts or scan the QR code on the screen right now. You can enter once per keyword. The winner will be announced November 7th. Okay, you ready for it? Beach. Tonight's keyword is beach. Take that, plug it in, and good luck, everybody. All right, Kaylin Mitchell standing by in the Weather Center. Kaylin, probably not a great day to head to the beach today, but needless to say, you've had a very busy day in the Weather Center today.
It's not Costa Rica calling, but raindrops falling for parts of the Maritimes today. Just looking out here at some videos, St. John's Rockwood Park. Certainly the wet weather, probably not going to bother the ducks very much as it does continue for parts of the Maritimes this evening and tonight. There's a look at our sunrise and sunset times. We want to move back and talk about this weather that's coming into parts of the region because it's still accompanied by a risk of some downpours for areas, especially parts of Nova Scotia, as we make our way through Monday evening and Monday night into early Tuesday morning. Barometric pressure, believe it or not, is towards the higher side. It's sitting above 1,020 millibars. And that's because we've got this area of high pressure that's basically sitting just to the north of the Maritimes. It's stalling out the progress or the speed of this low pressure system, which is just off the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. So that low is not actually directly in place over the Maritimes, but it's close enough that the moisture wrapping around the low is coming back into the region in the form of bands of rain and some of those downpours. So let's take a look at what's going on radar. Currently, we can see that rain coming in across southern areas of New Brunswick, a little bit of a small thunderstorm there out over the Bay of Fundy. Prince Edward Island, northern and eastern areas of Nova Scotia. In a little bit of a gap in the rain right now in the southwest of Nova Scotia, but that's going to be filling in as we move through tonight. One part of the Maritimes that won't really be getting into this wet weather, basically the northern half of New Brunswick. Now, there's still some downpours present within this rain. In fact, on radar right now, it looks like there's a round of downpours just approaching Sydney and Cape Breton County, as well as Richmond County. So you want to be careful with those downpours. They'll reduce visibility, and they could lead to hydroplaning conditions on the roads. I've been dealing with that basically throughout the day today in parts of Guysborough County as well as Pictou County. I already have some viewer reports out of Guysborough County that they're seeing or have seen rainfall amounts in excess of 80 millimeters, and there's still more to come as we make our way through tonight. So taking a look at our forecast timeline for cloud cover and precipitation, the greatest risk of downpours as we move through this evening, as we move through tonight, will be in eastern areas of Nova Scotia, but later tonight, joined potentially by the east of Prince Edward Island, Kings County, the southeast New Brunswick, northern areas of Nova Scotia, Halifax and east in Halifax County, and the Annapolis Valley. Heading to the start of the day for tomorrow, though, that rain is expected to diminish down into some areas of some lighter rain and some showers. That'll be around for Tuesday morning for those same areas. And then moving into Tuesday afternoon, most of that rain and showers comes to an end. We're looking at cloudier conditions at the time for Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, southern New Brunswick, and the sun breaking through across the northern half of New Brunswick. Additional rainfall amounts to come, though, for those areas continuing to see that wet weather tonight, expected to be in the range of between 10 and 40 millimeters. And that could bring some communities in Guysborough County to over 100 millimeters of rain in total. Winds are gusty with this weather system as well. They'll remain out of the north and northeast for tonight and for tomorrow, with gusts in the range of between 20 and 50 kilometers per hour. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight for most of the Maritimes, mid to high single digits. Chillier in northern areas of New Brunswick because there the cloud cover breaks up a little bit. High temperatures in the forecast for Tuesday around the Maritimes, mostly in the range of 9 to 12 degrees. So certainly cooler October weather. Let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher is coming in from 6-year-old Olivia Brazel. And Olivia has sent us a drawing of a beautiful sunny day with Dad up working on the roof. Thank you, Olivia. And weather watchers can come in to CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. So a new exhibit at Fredericton's Beaverbrook Art Gallery puts a spotlight on how modern graphic design has helped shape New Brunswick's history. And as CTV's Nick Moore shows us, it may provoke some nostalgia, too.
It's a wall of logos that came to be during the earliest decades of modern graphic design, playing a key role in the development of New Brunswick's stories, products, and priorities.
There's a lot of emotion tied to design, right? People get really attached to branding and logos. And
Tanya Duffy is curator of Pursuing the New, a modern graphic design history of New Brunswick, which has just opened at the Beaverbrook Art Gallery in Fredericton, showcasing provincial logos, corporate identities, and organizational branding between the late 1930s and early 1990s. Duffy says she was inspired to begin work on the exhibit after rediscovering the 1965 logo for NBTel, the former New Brunswick telephone company.
It's such an example of epic modern graphic design, and at the time where you didn't see stuff like that, like they needed something that people would instantly recognize, and they needed something that would go on vehicles and you could see it from a distance in the snow.
The exhibit follows the evolution of Crown corporations from NB Liquor to NB Power, with a tip of the hat to former companies including Hatfield Potato Chips. Politics and policy are a focus, from the sleek but short-lived Le Parti Acadien image campaign to groundbreaking messaging during the 1960s period of equal opportunity.
They created brochures that went out in the mail. It was stamped on government envelopes.
The exhibit also tracks the evolution of New Brunswick's official government logo, which underwent a rebrand in the late 1980s. Initially, a New York ad company pitched a pivot from the ship to the maple leaf.
It was a bit more national looking, and it got rejected in the end, and then it was redesigned in-house by the communications team here, still using the boat.
Duffy is hoping the collection will prompt appreciation for modern graphic design.
It's not something to take for granted, and we have plenty of examples of people who used it to benefit the province.
The exhibit runs until February and will be accompanied with a companion book launching in December. Nick Moore, CTV News, Fredericton.
Thank you, Nick. Lots of nostalgia in that one. All right, taking a break. When we come back, heartwarming Halloween.
I get emotional. It's nice to have some fun.
Costumes, candy, and a great cause. We'll tell you why these trick-or-treaters got a test run over the weekend. CTV News at 5 will be right back. Welcome back. The 5th annual Halloween on the Trail Walk took place over the weekend. CTV's Emma Convey stopped by to check out the costumes and the treats.
Crayons, minions, princesses, and dinosaurs. Just a few costumes spotted along the Gatesbrook Greenway this weekend.
This is a completely free event. It is solely based on the donations that we receive from individuals and businesses and organizations. So it's a lot of work, but it is fun. It's worth it.
This is the 5th annual Halloween trick-or-treat on the Trail Walk in East Chesapeake. 49 treat stations, dozens of volunteers, and bags upon bags of candy.
It warms my heart like I can't even explain how that it just makes me so happy.
Giving treats out to the kids and just part of the festivities for Halloween.
Last year there were 1,200 trick-or-treaters and more than 3,000 people in total walking this part of the trail. Organizers think the turnout this year could be even more.
That's fantastic.
I get emotional. It's nice to have some fun.
We come for the kids. They have a blast. We get out and actually interact with people and keep the tradition of Halloween going.
This year they added a hot dog fundraiser to rally behind a family in their community needing support.
We are doing the barbecue for the Wainwright family in support. We had a tragedy on Highway 107 recently. We did lose a community member, a very close friend. And we wanted to basically bring the community together, raise as much money as we could.
For some families, this event is an annual tradition. For others, it's their first time. But for the kids, it's all about
lollipops. I like that we get candy. I'm hoping to get so much chocolate.
I like trick-or-treating, but tables and not houses.
I just like handing out the treats and getting extra candy.
I get to see all the kids' costumes.
Get some candy, and we got quite a lot.
With Halloween night less than a week away, the excitement is only growing. Emma Convey, CTV News, East Chesapeake, Nova Scotia.
Thank you, Emma. What a great cause, and it's so fun to see the kids in their costumes get a little extra wear out of them, too, before Friday. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have yourselves a great night. Tomorrow, we'll tell you more about this amazing trip we're giving away to Costa Rica. Don't miss it. Thanks for watching. The national news is next. Good night.